Nature's Green Umbrella, Tropical Rainforests by Gail Gibbons. Green leaves, wet leaves. The air is hot and steamy. Everything is moist. The skies darken and it begins to rain. It pours on nature's green umbrella, the tropical rainforest. Most rainforests are found in warm, wet climates near the equator. These areas are called the tropics. When the sun shines, temperatures can reach 90 degrees Fahrenheit. They rarely fall below 70 degrees. Many tropical rainforests stay green year-round. Rainforests can help create their own wet climates. They are thick with plant life. These plants and trees soak up rainwater from the soil and return it to the air through transpiration. About half the transpired water falls back down on the forest as rain. Lots of rain. It rains more than 200 days a year in most rainforests. Sometimes as much as 240 inches of rain falls each year. Trees and plants transpire a watery vapor into the air through their leaves. Scientists believe some tropical rainforests have existed for 100 million years. Today, they cover about 7% of the Earth's land surface. Pushed together, they would be just about the size of the United States. Living in them are at least half of the Earth's species, or kinds, of plants and animals. Scientists are constantly discovering more. A single acre of rainforest, about the size of 2 football fields, may have over 300 different kinds of trees. In the United States or in Europe, a similar area of forest may have only 12 kinds. The Earth's biggest rainforest is the Amazon forest in South America. It is home to more than 1,600 species of birds and about 1 million different kinds of insects. The rainforest, with its millions of plants and animal species, makes up a special community called an ecosystem. This term comes partly from a Greek word meaning house or place. From tree top to beneath the forest floor, all parts of the ecosystem work together to make sure that the rainforest thrives. Of the many ecosystems on Earth, tropical rainforests are the most complex. The life of all rainforest ecosystems begins with sun, air, water, and soil. Green plants take in carbon dioxide from the air and water and minerals from the soil. Their leaves contain chlorophyll, a substance that uses energy from the sun to turn these materials into food. During this process, called photosynthesis, oxygen is released into the air. Plant life provides food for the insects and other animals that share the rainforest ecosystem. In turn, these creatures become food for the meat eaters. This is a natural part of the life cycle of the forest. When death occurs, many organisms, such as fungi and bacteria, and insects and worms, break down the tissues of rotting tree trunks, other dead plants and animals. These tissues become nutrients that go back into the soil and provide food for plants and trees. The cycle of life begins again. Tropical rainforests are more than fascinating ecosystems. They are important to the world's climate. We've seen that some of the water transpired by the rainforests falls back again as rain. The rest is spread by warm currents of air to cooler, drier parts of the earth. Tropical rainforests also help keep a healthy balance of gases in the air. Carbon dioxide is absorbed by the millions of trees and other plants. They in turn give us vast amounts of oxygen for people and other animals to breathe. Although a rainforest is one ecosystem, it is made up of different layers. In each layer, the plants and animals are specially suited to their place in the ecosystem. The tallest trees scattered throughout the rainforest are called emergents. They can grow to be about 300 feet tall. They poke through the top layer of rainforest growth called the canopy. The layer below the canopy is called the understory, and beneath that is the forest floor. The canopy. Many trees in the rainforest stand between 60 and 150 feet tall. Their branches and leaves form a sort of canopy or umbrella that shades the forest floor. These tall trees grow so close together that rain can reach the ground only by rolling down their trunks. Epiphytes, or air plants, are well suited to life in the canopy. Epiphytes don't have roots in the ground to get their food. Instead, they rest on trees and live off nutrients in the wet air, taking them in through their tissues or hanging roots. The canopy is alive with activity. Air plants often have beautiful flowers that attract insects, birds, and other animals to feed on their sweet nectar. Some tree frogs spend their entire lives up in the canopy's treetops, never going down to the ground. Sticky pads on their fingers and toes help them climb around the slippery leaves. The understory. In the understory grows vines, smaller trees, ferns, and palms. Beneath them are still smaller bushes and ferns. Woody vines called lianas creep up and around the taller tree trunks. Spider monkeys swing from the lianas, looking for fruit to eat. It is very hot and humid because much of the heat and moisture is trapped under the leaves of the canopy. Few flowers bloom here because of the lack of sunlight. The forest floor. Only about 1% of the sunlight shining on the canopy filters to the ground. Here, mosses, herbs, and fungi grow. Some of the plants are parasitic. This means they attach themselves to other plants and take away their food. The forest floor is covered with wet leaves called leaf litter. Dead plants and animals rot quickly, sending nutrients back to the soil. An anteater moves around the stilt roots of a tall tree, looking for ants to gobble up with its long, sticky tongue. Many rainforest trees have very shallow roots. Large growths called buttress roots come out of the trunk above the ground and help support them. Stilt roots provide support too. Below ground, the tree's roots are shallow because the soil itself isn't very rich or deep. Most tropical soils are so old that the combination of heat and rain has leached or washed much of the soil away. Nutrients are found in the thin layer of topsoil left behind. For over 40,000 years, people have lived in tropical rainforests, hunting, gathering food, and raising vegetables. They learned how to use thousands of rainforest plants for medicine. These people rarely harmed their environment because of their small numbers and the ways in which they use the rainforest. In time, other people came to the rainforests. They found wonderful foods like sweet potatoes, mangoes, and oranges. They realized that these foods could be grown on farms and plantations and shipped all over the world. They discovered many thousands of plant varieties. About 1/4 of all the medicines doctors use to cure disease come from rainforest plants. The periwinkle, a rainforest flower, is used to produce 2 drugs that help cure different types of cancer. The juice of a South American liana called curane is sometimes used to relax a patient's muscles during surgery. For most of their existence, the tropical rainforests were left undisturbed. Rainforest plants and animals flourished. Today, many rainforests are quickly disappearing at a rate of about 50 million acres each year worldwide. Trees are being harvested for their valuable wood. Even more are being cut down and burned to clear the land for roads, farming, and grazing. This practice is called slash and burn. As forests are destroyed, some people believe the Earth's climate is changing. There is already a lot of carbon dioxide in the air. The burning of the rainforest releases even more. All this carbon dioxide hangs in the atmosphere with other gases that are created in similar ways. With fewer trees to take in carbon dioxide and transpire water back into the air, the Earth's warmth could be trapped inside a growing layer of these gases. The world's climate could become warmer. This is called the greenhouse effect. Meanwhile, another threat in rainforest areas is from flooding. Without the protection of rainforest plants, soil is washed away by rain and wind. A useless wasteland is left behind. Without vegetation to slow the rain down, it rushes into streams and rivers, causing them to rise and flood vast areas. As the rainforests disappear, so do countless species of plants and animals. Many people are working hard to save the tropical rainforests from destruction. They hope to protect the people who live there too. One way is to create protected places called reserves. In some reserves, only selective cutting is done. This means that loggers and farmers can cut down certain trees, but others must be left to grow. Some people think extractive reserves will also help. In these reserves, people are allowed to take only limited amounts of fruit, plants, nuts, latex for the production of rubber, and other natural resources. Green leaves, wet leaves. Inside the tropical rainforest, life continues where it isn't threatened. The air is thick and hot. Once again, rain falls. The survival of the tropical rainforest is important because they are nature's green umbrella. Different kinds of rainforests. Tropical rainforests. Equatorial evergreen forests are found in the tropics near the equator. They are the wettest kind of rainforests. There is no dry season, so it is always green. A rainstorm in these forests can drop as much as 1 inch of rain in 30 minutes. Tropical moist forests don't get as much rain as equatorial evergreen forests. Moist forests have wet and dry seasons. During dry seasons, many trees lose their leaves. Trees that lose their leaves are called deciduous trees. Cloud forests don't depend on rain. They are found in the mountains of the tropics. Cloud forests get their water from moisture in the clouds above them. The temperatures are cooler than in other tropical rainforests. Mangrove forest. These are also called flooded forests. They grow along the sea. They stay wet year-round, soaking up rainwater and seawater. Mangrove trees have long roots to hold them in place. Temperate rainforests. These forests are not found in the tropics. Temperatures are cooler and the seasons are more distinct. Plants and animals differ from those found in tropical rainforests. For instance, old-growth trees, such as the sequoia that grow in Northern California. Some of these enormous temperate rainforest trees are over 1,000 years old.